Hi guys, it's Stu again. This time we're on a damp job in Coventry. Suspected rising damp. So I've had a call through on the website. So this couple, obviously they're seeing some staining and some discoloration on the plasterwork. And there's a nasty musty smell of damp coming through, particularly on the bay window area. And also quite high up, so above waist height on the adjoining wall. You can see there, just surrounding the bay window, there's quite a lot of pitting and discoloration just above the skirting line, with some blisters in the paint. So I've popped round and I've put the moisture meter round, done some basic investigation, checked the air vents under the subfloor, so timber floor in place. Had a quick scout outside, see if there's any mortar blown or guttering issues, things like that, window gasket issues. Couldn't see anything obvious at the time, so cracked on inside and put the moisture meter around. I was getting sort of skyrocket off the meter moisture content in the walls of sort of 30% plus. So it sort of baffled me a little bit on this one. So we've stripped the plaster back where the walls seem to be dry, which on a slight downward angle on the adjoining wall. And you can see here where the brickwork is actually darker right in the corner of the room, and it just slopes down onto the right there. Really strange. So we've stripped all that adjoining wall down, we've stripped all the bay window wall completely back to brick to try and find out what's happening. So at this point I've popped upstairs and had a scout round upstairs looking for pipe work in the wall, in the corner of the wall, down pipes, waste pipes, things like that. Maybe a radiator weep in the bedroom above was my suspicion, but couldn't find anything at all. So I was scratching my head for quite a while on this one, trying to figure out what exactly was happening and why this section of the home was absolutely sodden. I mean, the mortar was absolutely sodden, so you'd run your finger through, it's like wet sand almost. I'll show you the bay window area. So if you come round onto the left, bone dry, you can see the bricks there with a nice light pinky white, and then as it moves around to the right, they're absolutely sodden wet. So I was sure it wasn't rising damp, obviously with the pattern of the staining. It's already had a damp course in place at some point, so someone's popped round and done the old drilling injection, which hasn't done anything at all to resolve the issue. So it's not coming up from the subfloor at all. As I say, timber floor, so it's not a solid floor, so there's no way any bridging or anything like that could be happening. So you can see there I've just marked out exactly where the moisture stops, and the walls are bone dry above those red marks. So this one baffled me a little bit, so I decided to take my focus back outside and focus on the outside. So I'm looking for cracks in the render, say guttering issues, mortar bed failure, things like that. And while I'm looking, I looked up clearly to see that it was pitched right down on the right, so it was sloping down. You see there, the wrong direction. And I noticed right beneath the guttering was this box, so that this services box, which had a hell of a lot of watermarks, spatter marks. So I spoke to the customer, and she says when she sits in that bay window where she likes to sit, watch TV, she can actually hear the rain pattering off this box. I'll show you there where we've put a thermo change on the lens, and you can see damp all round the bay and all round that box. So it turns out that piece of guttering needs a downpipe, or at least needs to be swapped and changed, as it's taken all the water from that bay window roof and the main roof on the house, and it's just absolutely spilling over and pouring all the way down the house, and it's bouncing off this box and into the bay window and all along that wall, and that turns out to be that's what's causing all the dramas on the inside. So she wanted a quick turnaround on the replaster. So I decided to install a delta membrane around the bay and on that adjoining wall to give her a quick drying time, so she could get painted up and get back to normal. I put some vapour control board both sides of the bay, either side of the window, with some polyurethane adhesive, just to stop any moisture drawing through onto the new plasterwork. So we've done that. She's quite happy with that. Got that all bonded up, scratched up, ready to skim later on in the afternoon. So a lot of detective work gone onto that. So I was pretty sure it was a bust pipe or a dodgy radiator valve. So I spent a lot of time sort of rummaging around upstairs looking for weeping pipes and leaky pipes and things like that, to no avail. So just a quick one for you. Always check your guttering. Check your guttering where the leak is, where the damp patch is. Go outside and just have a little look round. Look for cracks in the render, because if it was seeping through, this could have been seeping through the back of the render for a long time before it's noticed, and the walls just become saturated, whether it be sand and cement on the outside, and also an old lime sand mortar. This is 1930s property, this one. So an old lime sand mortar on the inside, and then you've got your sand and cement finish on the outside. So once it's worked through, once that water's worked through the cracks in the render, it can't escape. So it's just going to keep building up and building up, eventually forcing its way through wherever it can. So in this case on the interior plaster. So just getting the second coat of skim on there. Popped some new skirting on for her as well. That was a pain. A round bay window. That's just on the clean up there. So coming towards the end of the job. So we got there in the end. We figured it out, and another one bites the dust. But it was a mission trying to find. I mean, the dad guys round, the damp proofing companies round. They wanted to come and drill and inject again, and put a sand and cement system on. You know, more expense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.